One second. Again, if you're on Zoom with me, feel free to interact and let me know particular goals that you have for hypnosis so that we can tailor this specifically for these things that are important for you to change. All right. We will begin. And I really, again, just want to thank you. And I'll ask you to actually step into this moment and into your body and to feel that gratitude for yourself. There's so many opportunities that we can use for self hypnosis. And I find it so much easier to explain it as though you're already in your own hypnosis experience. And because you are the person who has been in all of your experiences, you are always going to be the person best capable of hypnotizing yourself for something to change. Now, hypnosis can change not only things in our physiology, but it makes permanent changes into some of the beliefs that we can hold. And these can be conscious or even unconscious beliefs. So it's not a placebo of believing that the hypnosis works. It's really more of a simplicity to understand how techniques that you already have been participating with can be within your access. And so, if you have particular goals that you want me to focus on today in this workshop, I will. Otherwise, I'll do the best that I can to take hypnosis away from being something abstract or something maybe intimidating or just intangible and help you understand how you have already done hypnosis with yourself several times and how today we're going to use hypnosis, or you more so are going to self apply this hypnosis to make lasting changes for your habits, for your goals, just making changes in your life. I've seen this with so many different needs, and that's why it's just so exciting to share hypnosis so that you can use this every single day. It's not anything to be afraid of, and let's say too that it's not anything to wait to understand. Even in this presentation today, don't have this sense of waiting for me to make those direct suggestions. This is happening so often in our subconscious. And all the subconscious needed was a little bit of clarity of what was the instruction. And if we can make those instructions so simple and so positive based, then won't it feel easier that that's the suggestion that we take in this present moment? So, my first suggestion is in welcoming you and just letting you feel so good and so proud of yourself that you are open enough, at least, to consider something like this, or curious enough, or perhaps maybe just in need enough. You've tried so many different things and you are just really finding that you need something different. Now, think about this idea of your goal arriving. So, already you could imagine feeling so good. What will it feel like when a goal that you have shows up? I mean, I know all of the noise and stories that your brain could be telling you about, well, why it wasn't here yet, or what you need to do in order to get it here, or blah, blah, blah. The brain really loves all that chatter. What does it feel like imagining that it's right here, that you I'm giving it to you. You have your goal. What does that feel like? Because the word good is again an abstract sort of idea. So let's see if we could make the feeling, which is the way that your subconscious interacts with things, let's see if we could make that more tangible. Would you feel more peace if you had this goal? Well, that's a start and a sort of more clear instruction or direction, because what does peace feel like for you? It's not a thinking exercise. This is an invitation to connect to that bigger part of your brain. Now, imagine that this is just 10%, right, of your body. And that could be the analogy of 10% of the brain. They say we're only using 10%. Well, we're most of us just up here. But all of us will have something else going on beneath that conscious, critical, analytical faculty, of that thinking, or more so perceiving brain. And why do we want to get beyond the perceiving brain? And it's because if we're only associated to the things that we already can perceive, then aren't we just going to continue to sort of have more of the same? We're just going to continue to get an experience. We're going to continue to believe that this is what it is, or this is the way it is, and that we're stuck in this way. Well, you are being invited through this workshop to become your own hypnotist. And in doing that, you have this opportunity to create new beliefs that create new feelings, that literally will create new chemistry. It even changes, things in the body. I've seen fantastic things changed in the body with which we can't even explain, how something like that would happen. We could have explained maybe a little bit about the problem, or sometimes we don't have an idea about our problem and we just want to keep focusing on it to understand it more. Let's focus on the solution. You having your goal, right? Whichever goal it might be. If it's bringing you peace, then how does peace feel for you? Does peace feel for you? Does it feel blue? What shade of blue or green? Do you feel it sort of swoop in from behind you? Peace. It's not an analysis of how much peace is that. It's just, what is peace like for you? It's this thing you wanted. And so it's the preferences that you have. It's limitless with the things that you could pick, but you just needed to focus on one so that your subconscious could experience and feel the one that is, let's say, your one. And this technique that I'm describing is a technique that I've put in my self-applied hypnosis techniques. So on the internet, you can access the entire kitchen sink, everything that I've studied for over a decade, which I've organized and simplified into these tools. And once you have these equations that you could apply every single day for any type of goal, that's when you really become masterful at this art of self hypnotism. So I would love for you to go to the hallhypnosis.com website and get the self applied hypnosis technique so that you have lifetime access 24/7, even more access to the materials than to what you might have to a professional hypnotist. And you can use coupon codes if you would like for this product for 20% off or 40% off. Those coupon codes I'll put in the chat box for the Zoom. It's 20OFF or 40OFF at hallhypnosis.com. I want to give you the clarity of these simple, let's say, recipes. So here's this one for resource allocation. You decide the resource that is the representation that you have received your goal. let's use another example. Or if you have any specific goals that you want me to tailor this for, then you just let me know what is relevant for you. I'll hope that peace was relevant for a few of you out there. Confidence, or that maybe sense of what I'll call self assurity could be another sense of evidence that you have achieved your goal. Now, many people I'm hearing, what seems to be the theme for our season is this goal for sleeping well. And when you rest after sleeping well, yes, you feel peaceful, but that refreshed or zest, sort of vitality sense of experience. Let's consider that this word that I'm titling confidence. And what is that like for you in this moment? Again, does it swoop in behind you? Or maybe you feel like this goal would be front facing and it would sort of, direct line beam into you. Maybe almost, you know, like a beam of energy. It just is something you could feel, maybe warm, kind of coming into your body. And then you just notice that it's there and you feel amazing about yourself that you've created this, that you're receiving this, and excited that you're having this and you will have this. And won't having this make changes through other experiences in your life? All you needed to do was just bring in that first domino resource. And this is just one idea for a technique. Another technique that I think is really helpful for people to consider is the swish pattern, right? Or swap or switch. We could think about it like that, where you're changing what I'll call the pain state into this solution state. And so where are our solution states most often? They're kind of on the other side as far as a mathematic equation. Go to the gym 5 times a week, and then you get to, feel good about yourself, feel confident about yourself, love yourself, feel like all the pressures that are on you are lessened or something like that. Usually our pleasure is after that pain. Well, we know that we can't get motivated towards pain. We're motivated unconsciously to move away from pain. We're motivated towards pleasure. So even though we want the pleasure, we can't make the motivation happen in our willpower towards the pain. So this is where this technique through hypnosis comes into play, and you can just picture those two images. And now when I'm saying images, I'm not meaning you need to picture this visually with your brain. It's more like a daydream. There's some part of your awareness that could see it or feel it, or maybe you would imagine more sounds about it. Maybe the arrival of this goal would be that you're confident on a beach in a bathing suit. And you could feel that sensation of walking on the beach and just feeling content, proud of yourself, happy that you're taking really great care of yourself, that you've gotten away from any sort of bad habits of health or any sort of dysmorphia, any sort of shame. You just feel free and good within your body. So that picture of your pleasure may be off in the distance because this picture of your pain, right? All this stress and struggle you've had about trying to force yourself to go to the gym, right? Or to, stop eating the cake. This pain picture is closer because that's the equation that this part of us can understand. And let me say too that this part of us, it enjoys some of that drama and undulated, non-ending quest. It really loves that there are fires that we should continue to be tasked to put out. And so we want to listen to the entirety of, our brain's awareness. Because this part of us, it is really going to prefer that sense of peace and momentum, right? There's plenty of resources. You're already making that change. So we want to listen to the body and not just the brain. So let's get your body to feel associated to both of these. And then what you do is you take this pain picture, and if you could visualize it, you could gray it out. Or if you imagine the sounds from, I don't know, I'm just imagining the sounds of like a gym, which is super noisy and crowded and all the like kind of rusty grinding metal, just unpleasant noises. It's like you soften it, or you gray it out, or you minimize it. You just in some way begin to consider that it is weakening, and then this is strengthening. And to strengthen that solution picture, just notice one of the senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Just whichever one. There's no wrong one that you could pick. It's just about picking one that you can find yourself connected to enough that it becomes real, and it becomes even more real after that, and then only maybe 5 or 10 seconds of you sort of pretending in this kind of real feeling to that solution. Well, this changes your chemistry. It's like self-medication. And what is so just powerful about hypnosis to me is how simple it is. Yet many people have maybe not only, fears or um, misconceptions, but they haven't been told how they could do these techniques for themselves. Instead, most often people consider hypnosis as something that is done for you or to you from the outside. But in the industry, already, in hypnosis and all the, uh, you know, schools and sort of inner industry jargon, we understand that it's all self hypnosis. No one's doing this to you because you are the one who's in control. It's never a fear of someone else taking control over your mind. Only you have control within your mind. Suggestions may be brought in, but you have that last or first um, guard of standing to say which suggestions do you experience, and you can only experience one thing at a time. All right. So there are so many techniques that I have about how you can sort of outsmart the brain's plan to have you experiencing pain with this sort of dangled carrot of a reward that you'll one day have your pleasure, so that you can feel your pleasure right now. And as you feel it, you resonate to it, you're motivated towards it. It just changes things, not only in your brain, but in your body and your life. So one last technique that I want to go over today, so that you can kind of have these tools in your pocket, is the technique for a timeline, an idea of this line of a visual, or we could say kinesthetic sense, that ahead of you is your future, and there's that past, your past, and you're here, in between the two. And with this sense of a tool, you could then interact to imagine yourself kind of coming up and maybe out and forward, right? Because then time would be condensed. You could do it faster. To the subconscious, time isn't the same linear as it is here, in our conscious sort of analytical processor. So you could go out into some future time in your life. You could, sort of float down or hop in to something that you're a part of in the next few weeks or in several years. And you could have that sense of experiencing it and celebrating with yourself or for yourself that you've arrived, that all the things that you were working to do, you've done them, and have that heart sense, or that heart feeling of relief, or encouragement. Maybe you want to go into the future and see some things in your future, and you could take a backpack with you, and then have some things that you put in your backpack along the way. You could get some, let's say, totems from your future self into your backpack. And these could be tools that have a feeling of helping you right now. All of this is imaginary to your subconscious, but it is so literal and real as far as the chemistry in your body, the larger senses within your body that we just don't yet understand. And maybe we never will have a standardized way of understanding them because they're all so individual. But I'll tell you that hypnosis has been used successfully for not just hundreds of years, but thousands of years. Thousands of years. And millions of people are using hypnosis today. It's not the, in the closet, underground sort of therapy that it might have once been. People are understanding that they can use the hypnosis on themselves. And I want you to understand that hypnosis isn't only a passive sort of trance that you would need to receive. It's really a philosophy and the application of some of these certain tools. And these tools continue to, let's say, get rebranded, or re-identified, which is perfect, just like a chef in the kitchen. I want you to feel inspired to take these techniques and to make them your own. I just want you to have them so that you'll have that cookbook to help build your confidence that you can do this for yourself. So you can go to hallhypnosis.com and check out the self-applied hypnosis techniques. Also, I want you to know it doesn't matter if you feel like you understand or care about psychology and personal development, or if you're super into, these sorts of things, or what people might consider as those things, alternatives and new age and whatnot. Let me tell you about some student, success stories to give you those examples. A student that I had, whose name's Lynn, was not into any of this stuff, and hypnosis found his way into Lynn's life out of need. And like many people, he had tried other conventional things, but he wasn't getting any success. And so he worked with me. We did hypnosis. It changed things in his life. He arrived at his goal even quicker than what he had thought. It blew his mind, and he wanted to sort of understand more. And so, in going through the self-applied hypnosis techniques and even further to hypnosis training, when I've talked to Lynn, and he's not only elated that these things, work, he's still at this point of quandary of, well, what is it exactly that's happening? Because it's not anything about understanding or practicing psychology. It's just a simple formula of techniques. Now, another student, Anna, who was already working as a coach, she had studied NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, she had received hypnosis. She was very open to, let's say, some of the ideas because no one had presented the rest of these ideas. Not only the idea that you could do hypnosis for yourself, but that here is the simplicity of what hypnotism is doing when it's giving you that opportunity to change. And now that Anna understands how to do that, not only did she make changes in her life which she never would have thought could be made, or that in some that she didn't ever believe she would have the sense of confidence to change. But the work that she does with her clients it's so supportive. It's such a sort of simple and even many times instant application that both her and the clients are just astounded that we aren't all talking about these techniques. And so I would really, really love for all of us to be talking about these techniques. I want you to have these techniques for yourself, and then you can share them with others. You can get 20% off. You can get 40% off, because we know that right now, for many people, it's no longer become about, can you afford it? You're buying things, but are you applying them? Are you taking that sense of action? Because even taking that initial action is already a step in that right direction. It already shifts something. I mean, it's also something in the industry that we talk about. When people book that first session, they've already gotten themselves more than 50% of the way there. They're already over that threshold. So taking this action for yourself, for self-applied hypnosis techniques, which is life changing. You have lifetime access. You could apply these for any goal. Now, we're going to do a sort of group experience. So get yourself ready that, we'll go through a really sort of deep place of feeling. But I want you to know it's not anything that you couldn't do for yourself. And again, the subconscious, it doesn't matter about the time. It doesn't matter about the creativity. It doesn't matter about the imagery. It's just a certain way of feeling. And if you could imagine the simplicity of feeling it versus not feeling it, well, then all we need to do is set ourselves in that right direction of, I'm doing this thing so that I can feel it. I can feel the success, the solution, the good way, peacefulness, confidence. I can feel like blues coming into me from right here. I can feel like yellows glistening down. I can feel like I have a supportive hug, and that's squeezing healing into my body. You can imagine it. And now we're going to create some ideas of imagination through some imagery that I'll suggest. And then as it's imagined, it's also experienced. So get yourself free from any distractions. Just let this time be for you. And as you take this time with yourself, you can relax the eyes. They don't have to be closed. Certainly, not doing something like this if you're driving. But letting them relax gives you that sense of inner focus. While you're focusing on that inner state of awareness, I want you to feel yourself breathing in and out, because every breath in, you can take in more comfort, and every breath out, you can release expectations. In fact, every breath in, you could breathe in more gratitude for yourself, and every breath out, it's like you're just letting things release, all the things. You're just cleaning out all of your space now, and then you have more space for more positive or more preferenced feelings. Maybe you would love to feel warm in this moment. Notice a feeling of warmth starting to palpitate within the core of your body. It can be very subtle at first. That's completely fine. You are in control. You just direct it. And then you experience it, and your awareness of it is going to fuel it. This is completely safe and natural. It's not a placebo. You know what you want in this now time. You may find that you want the temperature to increase. You may see that it already is so gently warm and comfortable. And maybe you want more of that feeling of warmth to move throughout places of your body. Imagine feeling it now. Warmth growing from the core of your abdomen up through your heart, throat, flowing down the shoulders, even as it moves in the arms, maybe some slight tingles. Or maybe you just could imagine the sounds of tingles, whether it be a wind chime or you might find that little staticky sound for electricity. It doesn't have to be only warmth. This could be more and more of that comfort and this inner self support with that gratitude that you were doing this for yourself and that eager, readied, vigorous sense of yes, you are ready for anything, like so many things that you're ready for. You are ready to feel better, to be better, to stand taller, to breathe slow, full, rhythmic breaths. Let the good feelings stretch through your skin all the way down the body. And it just continues to move around your body, within your body, and even soon surrounding out around you. That good feeling, that warm, comfortable sense of being. And sometimes as we're breathing, we can have this sense of, and that's a good thing. It's breaking out old tension. You are ready to release the past, everything heavy, everything complicated, everything that's not even yours, that's not even what you want. Become completely invited into this moment. And right in this moment, as your heart is breathing, let your heart smile. And that smile will send ripples through everything else within you, even through things around you in the world, in your world. See if this smile can grow bigger now, just a giant grin. And you could begin noticing that the temperature again wants to increase just like a half a degree. You just feel a warm, fresh sweep moving up your body, and it can be something you imagine or picture going out of your head, your mind, and this is like a reset, just refreshing and clearing, like you've just had a very powerful nap, even if it never felt like you were sleeping. There are parts of our brain all the time that go into rest or they come back active. But it's so helpful to have this entire brain have that invitation to change something now, which it had started to believe wouldn't be changed until later or until conditions were met. So that willpower model, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. or that it couldn't work. I'm saying that if you have tried it and it wasn't working for you for this, for whichever important change you're wanting now, then know that you can work within the subconscious using tools like the one that we just went through and the ones that we talked about at the very beginning of this presentation. I'm just so grateful that you gave me this time to share these tools and techniques with you. I have a book on Amazon, The Brilliance of Imagination. And in this book, there are some ideas for tools. But again, the self applied hypnosis techniques is going to be that entire kitchen sink where you can go to again and again and again for lifetime access. There's done for you lessons, which means that you can relax like you just were, and I'll trans talk these lessons to you. And so they get into your subconscious and you start understanding the tactics, or recipes for those equations of hypnosis, and you become masterful in your already happening self hypnosis. Or there's audios that you could listen to for specific goals. If you want me to do those for you, I've given you scripts so that you can create many, many, many of your own hypnosis audios or hypnosis experiences. Using hypnosis is going to make a change not only in your life, but in lives of those around you. Not because you need to do these techniques officially with others, but you can share these tools with anybody who's ready for any sort of change. It's just safe and effective. And so I'm really glad that we had this time together today to share these. So thank you all so much for joining. I'm doing these presentations every other week, and you can come in and we can talk about your specific goals, and I will just keep sharing more and more techniques. So thank you all so much. I'm Lauren Hall with Modern Day Hypnosis. If you go to Hall Hypnosis, again, the coupon codes, if that is the factor that is the last action step needed for you, you could get 20% off with 20OFF, or you could get 40% off with 40OFF. So thank you for your time. Bye.